everyone, my name is Alexander Robinson and this is my travel channel. So this is going to be a slightly different video than what I normally post because right now I'm currently at LAX. This is not going to be a vlog as much as it's a review or first impressions video because where I'm going, it's for personal family matters. So I'm not going to be vlogging a trip, but rather my flights to and from my destination because for the first time in my life I'm flying Spirit Airlines. This airline has been notorious for being really bad, if not among one of the worst airlines ever. And the first time I even was aware of Spirit Airlines was in 2017 with that Cash Me Outside girl causing a riot on the plane. So I've heard nothing but bad things about it, but you know what? They say don't knock it till you try it. And since I have to fly Spirit Airlines for this family event, I might as well vlog this event and give you my first impressions on if it's really that bad. So in terms of this video itself, I'm just going to be talking about my impressions leaving Los Angeles and coming back to Los Angeles. Just the flights themselves. Getting through security and checking in my bag was actually pretty seamless. Everything went smoothly. And in terms of Spirit Airlines, they don't actually have employees checking in the bags for you, so they have these automated machines where you just scan your boarding pass, scan your ID, check in the bag, and that's pretty much it. So it was pretty efficient to get my bag checked in there. The only thing is that Spirit doesn't offer like complimentary carry-on bags, so you have to check in your bag, or if you do bring it on aside from your personal bag, you have to pay a fine. And I think that kind of lends to why Spirit is considered a budget airline. Yeah, the flights may be cheap, but everything else you gotta pay for. So in terms of the actual flight itself, it's right now 10:56. My plane is supposed to leave in exactly 10 minutes. The reason they haven't started boarding yet is because the flight attendants were caught in traffic from leaving the hotel, and I'm gonna blame the traffic because getting here was a pain in the ass itself. It took almost a full hour to get from the parking garage to the terminal via shuttle. And you know, LA traffic just sucks anyway, so I'll pin this on the LA traffic. This is just the first leg of the trip though, so I'm gonna keep an open mind. I have a lot of stuff to entertain me, whether it be my Switch, several books I need to catch up on, and luckily for you guys, you don't have to wait who knows how long until I start boarding. I'll just see you guys when I start boarding. About 6 minutes after I cut the camera off from that last clip, the flight attendants finally arrived. We got on the plane at the time we were supposed to depart. And again, I'm not gonna blame the Spirit airline attendants for that. I'm gonna blame LA traffic. And the flight from Los Angeles to my destination was pretty uneventful. I didn't record a whole lot, but it was a smooth flight. So what was supposed to be a 2.5-hour flight ended up being 3 hours, but I finally arrived at my destination, San Antonio. How do I know it's San Antonio? Because there's a Whataburger next to a Spurs store. That's how. From that point on, I put all of my focus on this private family matter, and then 3 days later, I start heading back to Los Angeles. Alright, so sorry for the abrupt cut. It is now Wednesday night. I'm back at the San Antonio airport, getting ready to head back home to Los Angeles. Like I said earlier in this video, I wouldn't be able to vlog my entire trip or any of my trip because it's a personal family matter. But now that's all done, I'm back here at San Antonio airport, and I'll briefly say that my flight coming here on Spirit was much better than I anticipated it to be. The seats are really small. If you see in this photo right here, I'm like kind of hunched up just because the seats are so tiny. There's no TV like in other airlines. They don't offer in-house movies, and the pamphlets are actually stationed behind the headrest. But overall, like, it was a decent flight. I was playing my Nintendo Switch the entire time and didn't really think much of it. I feel like based on that one flight, Spirit would be really good if you need to get somewhere in a hurry on a budget, and the flight attendants were really nice. So I definitely say it's not as bad as you were led to believe. But that was only one flight. Right now I'm gonna start checking in my bag for the return trip home. So one flight was pretty good. Let's see how the second flight holds up. Alright, got the tag for my bag since, you know, again, Spirit does not offer carry-on bags for free. And my boarding pass. Let's go. So my bag is checked, I am through security, and now I have exactly an hour and 10 minutes before my flight leaves. It's currently 9:26. My flight leaves at 10:36. I will say this right now, all the negative experiences I've had during these travels are usually not connected to Spirit Airlines. And the reason I say that is because it's late. It's almost 9:30 here, and because of that, a lot of the places, like the stores and restaurants, are all closed or about to close. Like the second I got through security, I thought, oh, I'm gonna get myself a milkshake at Whataburger. Nope, closing as soon as I walk up. Okay, I'll get some barbecue, a brisket, and some fried okra at Smoke Shack. Nope, starting to close as well. And I thought, well, what is open? Thankfully, there's a San Antonio Express news store that was still open, so I didn't get much. I got just a bag of Airheads Extremes, the Sweet Tarts rope, and because I want to try to get something from every place I've been to outside of California, a little keychain with the Alamo. Now, even though I didn't showcase the Alamo or anything in San Antonio during this trip, I do plan to make another trip out here to San Antonio, but do a lot of the touristy stuff like the Alamo, the Riverwalk, Fiesta Texas, SeaWorld San Antonio, and just do the types of videos that I kind of built this channel upon, the theme park stuff. This is mostly to showcase my experiences on Spirit Airlines. And unless we had an incident like in Los Angeles where the flight attendants are running late and we can't board without them, then I think everything should be okay from this point on. So next time I see you guys, I'll be on the plane. So I'm boarding my flight right now, and we're actually entering through gate A15, even though the departure sign said A17, the actual sign at the gate said A17, and even my boarding pass says A17, but they never even bothered to change the sign to A15. That's an issue. Here's a better look at the seats, the really tiny seats with no TV and no little sleeve for all the pamphlets. And it turns out my seat is right next to the emergency door. So that means the entire plane will be dependent on me if I have to open this door up. Well, one upside to being next to the emergency door is that there's more leg space. So that's good at least. And now we are just waiting. Some sort of city or town down there. I don't know exactly where we are at this point, but it's been an hour into the flight, and of course there's no way to actually see where we are because no video screen. Right now it's 12:50 in San Antonio, meaning it's 10:50 in Los Angeles. I've been in the air for maybe 2 hours, a little over perhaps, so not much further to go. I think maybe another 30 to 45 minutes left. It's been an uneventful flight. There's been some turbulence here and there. They turned on the fasten seatbelt sign again, but it's been a pretty calm flight, all things considered. So literally 6 minutes later, they just announced that we're starting to make our descent into Los Angeles, so I guess we're closer than I thought.
Should be on the ground about 11:28 local time, which is roughly 25 minutes from now. Weather on the ground in Los Angeles, 56 degrees, just partly cloudy skies, and very light winds out of the southwest. Once again, it's been a pleasure having you aboard. Wish you a pleasant rest of the week.
Close to 11:30. That's sooner than I thought we'd be landing. I was told we wouldn't be landing in North LA until midnight, but this is good. This is really good, actually.
Sorry for the delay, and welcome to Los Angeles.
So, what you didn't hear on camera, because I wasn't recording at the time, was we arrived 30 minutes early to Los Angeles, but all the gates are occupied, and it's going to be about a 20-minute wait before we actually get there. Why am I not surprised? Alright, moving again, and that was about a 6-minute wait. Thankfully not 20. And we are stopped again. Wonderful.
Folks, we just checked with operations, and the airplane that's currently at our gate is finished boarding. They should be closing their doors shortly. So, again, thanks for your patience.
Any minute now. What I was going to do before that recent announcement was just show you the time. It's currently 11:47. The previous announcement saying that all the gates were booked was made around 11:30. So we're getting closer to that 20-minute mark. Hopefully I can get off this plane soon. 11:51, and we are still chilling out here. Oh, we're moving. There's a Korean Air jet over there. So I will give him that. It was 20 minutes exactly. Just as long as we don't stop again. Unless it's the gate. And of course, I just had to open my big trap and jinx it. I'm just gonna cut away to when we're actually at the gate. And we finally made it to the gate. At long last. That's the Spirit. I apologize for the pun. It's late. I'm tired. I was on that plane longer than I really needed to be. But now, time to grab my bag at Carousel 4 and just go home. That was quick. I just got here. And it's weird that my bag would be out this soon, considering that San Antonio is not listed here. Weird. For those of you that need proof that this is in fact my bag, there you go. So I have a lot of thoughts about my first time on Spirit Airlines. My first and second time, technically. But it is too late in the night for me to be processing it all. So I'm just gonna head to bed, go to sleep, think about it for a bit, and then I'll be back with my own full thoughts on the Spirit experience. Hey everyone, I am now back in my apartment. I've had 2 days to think about my experience on Spirit Airlines, and amongst all the negative expectations I had going into Spirit, among all the bad things I've heard beforehand, all the videos I've seen of people getting to fights on Spirit, it actually was mostly a positive experience. The planes were clean, the flights were smooth, the crew was nice. In fact, the only really negative things I experienced on the flights were out of Spirit's control. Mostly out of Spirit's control. The flight attendants leaving the LA hotel to get to the airport, that's not entirely on them. I will still pin their late arrival on LA traffic. Now, could they have left in advance to try to get to the airport earlier? I'm pretty sure they did, but you know, sometimes these traffic situations are out of our control. And one thing I didn't mention is that when we landed in San Antonio, we were out on the runway for about 20 minutes because there were warnings of possible lightning. The flight back to LA that I mostly showcased in the video was, again, pretty smooth. Our flight actually left on time, and we actually ended up landing in Los Angeles a half hour earlier than anticipated. But that being said, we didn't end up getting to our gate until 25 minutes later. So I would say that's out of our plane's control, but I imagine the plane that was leaving that gate was a Spirit Airlines. So if it was, then that's probably another Spirit Airline that was late in terms of leaving. So again, mostly positive. The negative stuff, I have to say, involved the airport. Because when we left San Antonio, as I showcased before, the gate that we entered was completely different than the one that was posted all across the airport and the boarding pass. And the fact that they didn't even bother to change the information is kind of a problem. And I also showed that when I picked up my bag in Los Angeles, the carousel didn't list my flight from San Antonio as one of the flights. The same thing happened in San Antonio when I arrived from Los Angeles. The carousel at that airport didn't show, hey, there's a flight from Los Angeles through Spirit Airlines. So that's something I think Spirit needs to work out, unless it's out of their control and that's an airport problem. Because I don't recall that same problem happening with other airlines that I've flown on. And then as for the Spirit stand in San Antonio, at LAX there weren't any employees working at the stands where you get your boarding pass and check in a bag. At San Antonio, they do have people working there who, I gotta say, were very helpful and very kind in getting everything organized and taking my bag. But there's a weird thing where if you get their assistance, you have to pay $25. So that's kind of bizarre. But then again, considering you have to pay for everything else, since the flights are so cheap, it makes sense within Spirit. So there are definitely a lot of things that Spirit needs to work on, and mostly it involves the stuff outside of the actual flight itself. But overall, I'd say flying Spirit is not the worst thing in the world. It's actually not bad in terms of my two experiences. Would I fly Spirit again? If it's for a short flight, like maybe to Seattle or San Antonio again, then yeah, maybe I will. But if I'm flying more than halfway across the country to places like Chicago, Boston, New York, or back to Orlando, then I don't see myself taking Spirit Airlines. I want to be able to enjoy all the perks that you get with the other airlines, like free carry-on bags, or in-flight entertainment. That way I could just watch a movie or TV show on their screens and just look at a map on how far I am away from my destination. That's my personal recommendation when it comes to Spirit Airlines. So if you've avoided Spirit for so long because of their negative reception, I feel like they may have gotten better over the years based on what I've heard in the past. Go into Spirit with an open mind, knowing that the flights themselves are not bad, but everything else they really could use some work on. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and somewhat entertaining. The next video I'll be putting up on this channel will be theme park related, so I'll be back to what I enjoy most here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on YouTube, you can check out my movie review channel, Alexander Robinson Movie and TV Reviews, which just recently crossed 10,000 subscribers. And also make sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day, take care, and safe travels.